What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over the main exercises that I have seen help me the most with growing my glutes and activating that muscle. Because when I used to work out a few years back, I would have a problem with activating my glutes and my quads would be on fire. And it's just a simple change in movement, so I'll explain it quickly before we get into the whole video. You just have to put majority of your weight back on your heels rather than your toes. And while you are working on your glutes, you want to find exercises that are mainly focused on your glutes. So whether if you're like on the ground doing hip thrust or like hip abductors, like anything, focus everything on your glutes. Think about it, mind over matter, and put all your weight back on your heels. So it's working the back of your legs, so hamstring and glutes. Okay, so now that I've gotten that little tip out there, let's get into the full video. Also, if you're new here, check out my channel. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So I just want to say a quick disclaimer that obviously I'm not a professional. I did not go to school for this. I'm not a personal trainer, none of the above. These are just the exercises that I've seen work for me and really help me excel in areas that I want to excel and change in ways I want to change. You guys are also going to see that this is split between 2 different days because the first time I went, I was with my boyfriend and I had him do all the filming, and that was in his town, so I used that Planet Fitness gym, and that one was god awful. I will literally never go back there in my life because they don't even have the machines that I really wanted to use, like a Smith machine, a proper Smith machine that you can bring the bar all the way down to the ground. I don't know why. It was very odd, but it made me so mad. Anyway, so yeah, you're just gonna see these videos split into 2 different days because I had to kind of figure out how to film myself in the gym, which was also very difficult. So I'm sorry for the poor quality of these videos as well. With that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so whenever I get to the gym, no matter what day it is, I always start off with 15 minutes of cardio, whether that's like a HIIT, stairs, elliptical, running on treadmill or walking on incline. Whatever day it is, I'll find something that will kind of help warm up those muscles. So mostly on glute days, I go to the stairs. I do 15 minutes total. The first 5, I'm strictly just walking at a pretty fast pace. I would say 10 to 12 is good. At least that's good for me. I'm not gonna like tell you guys what's good and what's not good because I'm not a professional. Far from a professional. This is just what's helped me. And again, if it's helped me, I'm just gonna relay the message. Okay, so I start 15 minutes, 5 minutes speed walking. Then I'll drop it down a few. So I'll bring it down like 2 levels. And I'll do 1 minute side walking on one side, another minute on the other side. Then another minute doing some kickbacks, and the following minute lunges. And then for that other 5th minute, I will just speed walk again. And then I'll do that 2 times. So that adds up to 15 minutes. So again, 5 minutes of speed walking, then 2 5-minute intervals of different variations that will help activate that muscle. So once I'm done with that, any time I'm doing glutes, I always start with the lowest weight, whether it's body weight or a 10-pound weight dumbbell, to the heaviest weight at the end. I will always, or at least try to, save that exercise for the very end. With my gym, I honestly hate my gym. It's always too crowded. So sometimes I'll go in there with a set workout and have to change the entire thing because every machine that I want to use is taken. So to start off with the lightest weight, it was with my single leg RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. And this is actually a really good compound workout because it also helps with your balance and your core. So what you do is just have a dumbbell, whatever weight your heart desires, and whatever hand that's in, that's the same leg you're gonna kick back with. But you're gonna keep your body straight like this the whole time. So the minute your leg goes up, your body's going down, and squeeze your core and your glutes. And this is a great activation workout for both. Every workout that I do between 12 to 15 times, 3 sets each. I always do 3 sets. So it was in that vicinity somewhere. I don't really remember what I did that day. It's really whatever I'm feeling that day. If I can push myself for a little bit more, then I'll do it. If I can't, then I won't. So next I would do my weighted single leg raises. So I just take a weighted plate, and don't take something that's so heavy that it's going to force you to use your upper body muscles, so like your arm muscles, more than your leg muscles, because that's the area we're working out. So I just take the plated weight and I'll rest it on the side on a comfortable area, and then just raise your leg to the side and keep your leg slightly bended. I've been wanting to work out my entire bottom, but I really want to focus on my sides because everyone has hip dips, but I want to fill that gap with muscle now. So this is a really good exercise for working out the sides of your glute. So the next exercise that I do, I've been doing these for so long. Like, I really, really believe that these have helped grow my glutes. It's the cable kickbacks. I love, love, love these. Not only do they activate your glutes and help grow that muscle, you feel it in your hamstring too. So like the top of your hamstring and your lower glute area, that's going to help lift everything. And like, who doesn't want a perkier butt? Like, everyone wants one. Some people keep their legs straight as can be. Personally, I don't like that. I feel like that's too much strain on my back. So I just have a slight bend in my knee and I'll just literally kick back. You want to make sure that your back is as flat as possible. And some of these exercises, you're going to look at me and be like, that girl has terrible form. I have scoliosis, double scoliosis. So my back isn't just like a curve, it's an S. It's a full-blown S where I have two curves in my back, so my back will literally never be straight. Just throwing that out there, because I know for some of these exercises you have to keep your back straight, but like me, that my back is straight. Get it? Anyway, so you want to bring your back low, straight as possible, and just kick back. I keep a slight bend. When I bring my foot down, I don't touch the floor, and then I shoot back up, squeeze at the top, bring back down. So next I do SDLs, stiff leg deadlifts. Again, this is an exercise where you're supposed to keep your back straight. When you see me do it in the clip, that to me is my back being straight because of my scoliosis. I've tried to get my back to go straight, but like, I was born this way. Sorry. Anyway, so keep your back straight as you're coming down, and I always keep the slightest bend in my knees as I'm coming down, and then I use my hips to pull right forward. By the way, if you look closely, you'll see my toes lifting, and that's because all my weight is in my heels, like I said in the beginning, and that's exactly what you want to do to keep your glutes activated the whole time and really work them. And like bring all the way back up. You don't want to use your back and curl your back to come right up. You want everything to stay as one and let your glutes and your hips do all the work. And again, when you come up to the top, squeeze, 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 and then go back down. You'll see your butt looks a little funny in it when you're squeezing. It just looks like a encaved weird shape. It's very unflattering, but the more unflattering it looks, the more you're squeezing, therefore the more flattering it will look months to come. So next you'll see hip abductors. And for me, I don't do the traditional seated hip abductors with the machine. I use the machine, but I do it in a squat position because to me, it allows me to add more weight and let my muscles have its full capacity at like how much weight it can push out. While I'm sitting, I feel very like strenuous squeezing onto the sides and like really trying to push out, but it's really hindering like my bones, kind of. I don't know if that'll make sense to you guys, but for me, like I feel it really on my bones. While me bending slightly forward in a squat position, I can feel it in my glutes and like my side muscles. So I just go into that position, push open, close, you know, hip abductors. And then at the very end, however many I do, I hold it out in that position for about 20 seconds, squeezing your glutes. And guys, you will thank me for telling you to do that because I'm not kidding. That is so painful, but in a good way. So like it burns so bad, and you know that type of burn that you're like, yes, keep going, push, because you know you're doing something right. I will not just do hip abductors unless I finish off with like a 20-second hold at the very end of each set. So each time I do it 3 times, at the very end of each, I always hold it outward to feel that burn. Okay, so my final exercise that I would say is literally like number one that has helped me grow my glutes because it mainly focuses strictly on your glutes. It's hip thrust. Hip thrust with the Smith machine is what I do. You can do just with a weighted bar and some weights on either side. My gym does not have that, but a Smith machine works just as well. So I know I said I use the Smith machine for this exercise, and yes, that's what I do at my home gym, but this gym that I was using did not have a proper Smith machine to do this exercise, so I just used the same weighted bar from the previous exercise that I used with the STLs, and it worked fine. Wasn't the best, but it worked. So what you want to do is have a bench horizontal along the Smith machine. So if that's the Smith machine, you want a bench right in front of it, and you want to place the bench somewhere where it's going to allow you to rest only about here on. So when you're leaning on the bench, you want to rest above, like, I would say your armpit. That's a good area for me, at least. Again, everyone's different, so your area might be different than mine, but for me, that's where I found I'm not putting too much of my back onto it where I feel like my back is just taking a break and resting, and I'm not putting too little on it where I feel like I'm just gonna slip off. Also, my feet placement. Sometimes I do 90 degrees. Sometimes I'll even have my feet out a bit further just because I want all the weight in my heels. Therefore, it'll help my glutes activate more rather than my quads. So once you find your right position, what you want to do is obviously sit on the ground, place the bar across your lap, and it right under my hip bone, and that's where I found is the most comfortable for me and it won't give me bruises on my bone. So what you want to do is think like there's a puppeteer above you, where you have strings attached to your hips and they are yanking you up. So shoot your hips upward. Again, don't use your back, only use your hips and leave the weight in your heels. Shoot your hips up, and then the puppeteer will lower you back down. When you get up there though, you want to squeeze, 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 and then come back down. And while you're doing it, do not strain your back. So what I mean by strain your back is don't come back down and arch your back and leave your shoulders sitting in that position like this. You want everything to come back as one and your hips to guide the way. So keep your back leveled and just come down. And then shoot up, come down. You don't ever want to have your back curved because one, that is going to literally like break your back. Okay, that's a little extreme, but it's gonna put a lot of strain on your back. So just come back down and start back at your starting position. Except when I come back down, I don't sit all the way on the ground. I'll come down slightly and then push right back up. And the reason why I love this exercise is because you feel it throughout all of your glutes. So all three muscles, you feel it in. It's like the best exercise out there. I swear by it. And you will see a lot of fitness gurus. You will see them rave about this exercise, and it's like the truth. Whenever I do it and I squeeze up the top, by the end, I'm literally like shaking because my muscles burn so bad. So like, yeah, you get that burn with the hip abductors, but that's really your side glute. And with the hip thrust, when you squeeze at the top, you feel it throughout the top, middle, bottom, like you feel it everywhere. So that's why I just feel like it helps grow and like bulk your butt. Also, at the end of every workout, I stretch for 10 minutes because you don't want to wake up extremely sore and tight the next day. It's not fun. Stretching helps a ton with that. But also, not only stretching, I drink aminos and energy throughout it, and I have a whole separate video on that. I'll link it down below. That helps with restoring my muscles and helping my muscle growth while I'm there. And I also drink a protein shake within 15 minutes after my workout. Sometimes while I am stretching, I'll make it and drink it and just like sip on it as I'm stretching. So I've seen like all three of those things help me not become as sore the following days. I have like slight soreness, but not to the extreme where I can't walk for the next 3 days and have no desire to work out, because that is miserable. You'll never succeed in what you're trying to do because of being sore for that long. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that, and like I said, it's really not fun. Okay, so those are my top 6 exercises. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something. And if you guys have any recommendations for me to try, leave in the comments below. I'm always up to learning new exercises. Again, I do a wide variation of them, but these exercises I will do every single week. Sometimes not all together as one like workout day, but I will do them like throughout the week. For my body alone, these are the exercises where I saw the biggest difference. Again, everyone's different and I'm not a professional. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.